Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sim Experience IBF USA final round. This is the season finale. This is it. We're finally here. We're watching the top drivers fighting it out for the championship. This is the final round, 10 of 10, coming to you live from the MONZA Grand Prix circuit in Italy. I'm your commentator, Dennis Mitchell. I'm not sure if I'll be joined tonight by Sean Woodgate. He's still recovering, so he might possibly join, but if not, we're wishing Sean all the best and a speedy recovery. But this is the final round. We're in qualifying. We're running a little bit late tonight, so we're already in qualifying, so our build-up is not going to be quite the same as the usual build-up. So we're just going through everything while we're in qualifying. So watching Donovan Vermaak in the background, just to let you all know that this is the final round of 10. Round 10 from the MONZA Grand Prix circuit. I'll just run you through some of the updates that are coming into this round. Jason Underwood still leads the championship from Chris Collison. Jean de Toy now up into third place. Then the rest of the field, up to the top 18, we have a few changes. Garrett down to 4th, Stanton is in 5th, Adrian is down to 6th, Timo is up to 8th. So a couple of drivers moving up and down throughout. And of course the team championship is still the same. We still have Team Harder Racing in first place, and they will be winning the championship. They are too far ahead to be beaten. But alright, so we are now in qualifying. Let us go live to some of the feed. If anyone could just let me know if the audio levels are alright. So currently on provisional pole position we have Gerrit Beekes. Going to gather myself here. I'm a little bit behind tonight. Hopefully we can get everything up so you guys can see everything, and it should all be running alright. So it is the final round. We have the qualifying ending, and then we have our 6-lap sprint race, followed by our 1-hour feature race. We'll run you through the points as we do the formation lap for race 1. Currently coming into this round, we have 4 drivers that have the potential of winning the championship mathematically. We have Jason Underwood, who's currently not here tonight due to his cricket commitments. We have Jean de Toy that could possibly win it. We have Chris Collison that could possibly win it. And there's still an outside chance for Gerrit Beekes to also win it. Mathematically, those are the 4 that could still take the championship. Going to have a quick look at YouTube. Monet says, cool. I don't know if that's to a previous message or to the audio, but good evening, Monet. Good evening, everyone else on YouTube. Johan Birkus, good to have you with us. Cheering on Gerrit. As Gerrit now starts a flying lap. Let us have a look and onboard with one of the fast drivers. He's currently got the fastest lap. Let's see what it takes to be on top. Nice and clean through the first sector. Currently we have everyone on soft tires except Antonio De Lima. He's currently on the medium tire. I'm not sure why he's decided to go for the medium tire. I guess it's working for him. Right, into the chicane. Watch that inside curve, it will split the car off to the left. He's done that nice and clean. I think this is kind of blank on the name. Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2, I believe this is. Into Lesmo 2 now. Can actually take a bit of curve there, which he didn't. And I believe it's into rFactor and the last corner being Ascari, I think. Off the top of my head, I don't have anything in front of me, so apologies if I'm getting that wrong. Here, once again, you can take a bit of curve on the inside, not too much over this part there, that will run you wide over those little bumps on the inside. Here, you can be a bit aggressive on the exit. Nicely done there by Gerrit. He's currently outdone by Adrian now, who has provisional pole on a 1:47.1 at the moment. But Gerrit is on a personal best, sector 1, sector 2. See if you can get a good clean exit here. You run nice and wide. Get your wheels over the line, your outside wheels over the line. You can do that. As long as you keep your inside wheels on, straighten the car up as quick as possible. And he improves his time, but not quite enough. But 0.052 shy of Adrian now. A very good effort. And in third place we have Jean-Louis de Toy. Currently not on for a personal best. In fourth place we currently have Timo Smit. On an outlap, he was one of the fast drivers. I think in practice he had finished second overall. So we know he can put the car there, and I believe, well, my mindset was that this car should go well around this track with its American muscle. The muscle nature of the car should suit the circuit. But we'll see if that works out or not. It does tend to wear its tires a bit differently to some of the other cars. The Porsches have been quite strong. They're not yet showing their hand. Chris Collison is also not yet showing his hand. He's currently in 5th place. But the top 5 are covered by 0.2 of a second. Stanton Augustus in 6th is only 1,000th of a second shy of 5th place. Andre Besson is another 10th shy of that. And it's another half a 10th to Peter Geldenay, so the lap times are extremely close. Right, let's have a look at some of the other drivers. Let's see who is perhaps on a good lap. See if we can find. So currently Sean Ulf here, personal best sector 1. I believe heading into rFactor. Lines through there, taking just a little bit of curve, allowing the car to rotate without using too much so it slows it. Right, heading down to Ascari. Slightly slower than his personal best time in the middle sector. Let's see if he can get a good entrance and most importantly exit out of Ascari. Didn't run as wide as you could. So I think a bit of time left on the table there. See if he improves. He does. He's up to 6th place, so he did still improve. I believe he can carry a bit more corner speed on the exit of the final turn and perhaps gain a bit more time there. While coming out of the pits, slows down. I believe that is possibly Julian Brains. See another 2 drivers now on mediums. We have Yandre Duppenal currently on a medium set of tyres, as well as Donovan from Mark in 10th and 11th place respectively. Yandre running a little bit sideways through the corner there, getting on the power through Lesmo 1. Once again through Lesmo 2, the back end stepping out slightly. Chris Collison up ahead of him. So looking at the times, at the moment we've got just over a minute left to go. We don't have anyone on faster sectors. That includes currently the top 3 drivers. Yandre personal best in the middle sector. slightly shy in the first sector. Definitely can still improve. We'll keep an eye on that. I believe Chris Collison is about to come across the line to start a lap, so we'll change to Chris Collison shortly. Could be a last lap gospel, nice and wide there. That's pretty much as wide as you can go. Showing a nice amount of speed in there. Bring the car back over, straightening it up. And unfortunately stays 11th. Alright, so Chris Collison starting his final attempt with 13 seconds left on the clock. Not too much curb on the inside there. Let's see how his first sector pans out. Staying off the exit curb there. Right, checkered flag is now out. Adrianel is in the pits. Gerrit Berkus is now fastest overall in the middle sector, so perhaps we can cross to Gerrit as soon as we see. Oh, Chris is on a good one as well. Just come back to Gerrit. Oh, he comes across the line second. Fastest overall second and third sector. Let's see how Chris finishes the lap. So first and second have completed their laps. Jean-Louis Dutoit, Timo and Chris still on for flyers. Chris currently personal best sector 1 and only a fraction shy. So let's see how his middle sector shapes up. Right, preparing, bringing the car wide. He's a little off, but still personal best, so he could still move up the grid, maybe a position or two. Could maybe pinch 4th place from Timo, unless Timo is on for a faster lap, which at the moment Timo's ahead of him on track, but not lighting up the time. So here is Timo. Timo actually does have a personal best in the middle sector. So let's see how Timo comes across the line. Does he improve? Already 4/10 off the lead. And he actually does. 3/10 off the lead. Let's see how Chris comes across the line. And does not improve. I believe that's everyone's times now finished, apart from Andre Hildebrand, who is on track, but his time is finished. So we're going to jump to a quick ad break, and we'll be back shortly for Sprint Race 1.
Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info.
Alright, so welcome back everyone to Race 1, our sprint race for the IBFUSA GT3 World Series Round 10, our final round 10 of 10, coming to you live from the MONZA Grand Prix circuit in Italy. We're about to head off for our formation lap for the sprint race. Drivers are taking to the grid now. So while they are on the grid, we're about to start the 6-lap sprint race. We can just run you through the current, of course, the championship schedule, which we are now the 10th round at MONZA and the final round. Looking at our championship as well, we have in the Pro Division, we have Jason Underwood from Chris Collison and Jean-Andre Dutoy. In the Veterans class, we have Marius van Wyk leading Andre Hildebrandt and Harvey Hoos. Then our points overall, we have Jason Underwood on 367 from Chris Collison, 340, and Jean-Andre Dutoy on 330. So we have a South African from a British driver from a Namibian driver. So we have 3 nationalities on display there, good to see. And the rest of the field up to the top 18th driver. We I think have 33 or 34 drivers entered, but only showing the top 18. And our team championship, we still have Team Harder Racing in front. They are unbeatable at this point, so they have already taken the team championship. So congratulations to Team Harder Racing on a successful championship battle. The drivers are now heading off on their formation lap. Let's have a look at the starting order while the drivers are heading out. While they're on their formation lap, we have Adrian Null in pole position from Gerrit Bierkes, Jean-Andre Dutoy and Timo Smit. In 5th place we have Chris Collison, 6th place Christian Labas, Sean Olivier in 7th and Stanton Augustus in 8th. In 9th place, Andre Besson, 10th place, Peter Geldenes, 11th place, Yandre Dupenaar, and in 12th place, Donovan Vermaak. In 13th place, Dinesh Singh, in 14th place, Monet Dutoy, 15th place, Antonio de Lima, and in 16th place, Julian Brains. In 17th place, Wayne Kruger. In 18th place, Peter Murray. In 19th place, Dani Stander. And in 20th place, Rian van der Westhuizen. In 21st place, Marius van Wyk. 22nd, Andre Hildebrandt. Rudy van der Westhuizen in 23rd, and in 24th place, Dan Bezuidenhout. And bringing up the rear, we have Harvey Hoos in 25th and Dirk Kutzer in 26th place. going to just bring up our timings for now, just so that we have some information up on the screen. Just to also let everyone know, we do have tyre choices for the drivers. The drivers can pick either tyre that they would like. The tyre choices are red, which is soft, yellow, which is the medium tyre, and white, which is the hard tyre, as well as blue, which is the wet tyre. We are not expecting any rain tonight, but anything is possible. We have an eye on the weather. But for now, it looks like it's going to be a clear race. Drivers warming up their tyres. There's an agreement that they will all hold formation until just after turn 1. And then the drivers will be allowed to put their foot down. This will just eliminate the incidents at turn 1. And hopefully that means we have a clean 6-lap race as well as a clean 1-hour feature race. Right, the field all weaving, trying to get a little bit of heat in their tyres. Some believe that works, some believe it doesn't. That is up to driver preference. We'll have a look at the tyres as soon as the race gets going and we get our information up, but for now we're just looking at the drivers coming through the field. A couple of drivers weren't able to make it tonight, some choosing not to make it, some just having issues joining. Unfortunately, some not able to join that wanted to join. Right, so they're going to head up to the start-finish line now. The race will officially start, but they will hold position. I'm sure for some is painful. They're so eager to get going. We see some of the drivers very, very close to the others, but they're staying in position. So the race is officially underway. Also helps us reduce any penalties that gets handed out. So at the moment there are no penalties handed out. Everything is clean. Drivers will go through in single file, and now they will put their foot down. Right. Looks like GT3 getting a good exit there. Really challenging, trying to go around the outside of Carrot. Carrot taking the line. Not too far back either. And we've got the best view in the house. Christian Labas very close to Sean Uliff at the moment as well. Sorry to Chris Collison actually. So the drivers further back also nice and close to the other drivers. The field seems to be very, very close lap time wise. It should make for an exciting feature race. Stanton Augustus currently under threat from Andre Besson. Andre Duppenau right there behind them. See the green flags from marshals waving frantically on the side of the track. Right, Andre having a good look here at Stanton. Will he make it? Yeah, Stanton carrying the momentum. Now he's under threat from Andre Duppenau. It looks like he managed to get a good exit, so actually seeing off a threat from Andre. Once again he's on the attack. Stanton will now have to defend. We see someone running really wide in the background. I believe that's Marius van Wyk. You can sometimes use that little bit of a scapegoat on the right hand side there. A good battle running here. You see the battle further up the field, but at the moment this is one of the closest battles. We have several close battles throughout the field, but this is the closest right now. We have probably 2 or 3 that are actually bigger, but possibly groups of 4 or 5 with maybe half a second between them. I was hitting the curb quite hard and bouncing quite hard there, so let's have a look at some of the other groups. So, for example, Dinesh Singh, 6 tenths behind Donovan Vermaak. Dinesh Singh having a good Monza. The Ferraris are rumoured to be quite good around here. I'm not sure if it's because of their handling or because of their top end. I believe they've been rumoured to have good top end, but we haven't seen it at other tracks, so I'm not sure. But either way, Dinesh Singh having a good round, so finally the Ferrari is looking a bit stronger. Unfortunately, Stan Bezadnote, our series sponsor, is currently running in last position. And Rudy van der Westhuizen, our other Ferrari driver, is running in second last position. So I'm not showing the form that the Ferrari is capable of in the hands of Dinesh Singh. So other battles throughout the field we have. Morné du Toit is currently 6 tenths ahead of Wayne Kruger. So Wayne Kruger getting stronger and stronger as he's getting more experience in the sim racing. He's had 1 or 2 really strong rounds. He's got Peter Murray right behind him at the moment. Peter Murray got a bit of a scare there actually. And hit the anchors a bit hard. He almost hit the back of Wayne there. I'm not sure if he did, but that was very close. Now right behind him he's got Julian Brains, and right behind Julian we have Donnie Stunder. So Wayne having a look further up. Having a look at Morné du Toit, who's shown a dubbed part of the Boeing Brigade, but not in his Boeing Brigade car because he's changed cars after changing hardware. This Ferrari just didn't work for him with the hardware that he's now got. You see Wayne going around the outside. Will this work? Oh, Morné getting a bit of cut. I think Wayne's probably going to get the better of him now. Might get better traction. I think Morné will get a warning from the stewards for that. Perhaps to give back the position, which it looks like he has. Alright, now Peter Murray right behind them. Sitting nicely in the slipstream. Good battle brewing here. This could go down to the wire. And further up the field we have Antonio De Lima also 10th behind, I believe that's Donovan from Mark. And right behind them Dinesh Singh, so these guys are having a good battle as well. Team Full Throttle have been very much on pace of late. Good to see them showing good form. Antonio hasn't quite had the form of Ferret, but definitely drivers to be taking the fight, as we see Dinesh having a good look, sitting in the slipstream there. Thinking twice about it, taking a slightly better line, falling in behind. Let's see if it carries a bit of speed. Nope, not quite. Really start to catch. I think Antonio was a bit compromised by a slightly tighter line into the chicane. And yes, Dinesh is definitely catching, whether it's a slipstream helping or the thinner line that he took. So taking a slightly wider entry in and a tighter line out. Let's see if it helps him to carry a bit more momentum. He's definitely got the momentum, but then so does Antonio on Donovan. I think Antonio might, like the Porsche is just pulling away from the BM on the straight. But Ferrari definitely catching. The BMs definitely seem to be a bit slow on the straight. Oh, Nash getting very close on the brakes. Nice and close between the drivers there. So at the front we have Jean du Toit challenging Gerrit Bierkes, but unfortunately for them, Adrian Nel has decided to clear off. He has a 2.8 second gap up front. We're pulling away from them. Good pace so far. And in 4th place we have Timo Smit hanging in there with a battle for the 2nd and 3rd places, so trying to get on the podium. So Gerrit is under threat at the moment from Jean du Toit and Timo. Let's see how this pans out. There's probably 2.5 laps left to go. And the surprise is Chris Collison in 5th place, just not having the pace to challenge at the moment. So this could be playing into Jean du Toit's hands regarding the championship. So we'll have to keep an eye on Chris, who also has Sean Oliver for some company, and right behind them they've got Christian Labas, who's a new driver that's joined us. He will also be joining our championship to follow this, which will be the World Make Porsche Super Cup. So details regarding that, we'll be slowly releasing it, but we'll release the scheduled season in our interviews. We'll let everyone know what's happening, but the dates are yet to be confirmed. Right, so some of the other battles we have Yandre Dippenaar right behind Andre Besson. Right behind them we have Stanton Augustus. And a second back we have Peter Geldernes. So cars are really close to each other. The slipstreaming definitely keeping the cars nice and close. Also have Wayne Kruger, 4/10 behind Dinesh Singh. So Wayne having a great round so far. I think the Mercs and the Ferraris are definitely looking stronger at this round than they have at some other rounds. I'm not sure if it's the punchy nature of the Merc that's helping it here. It's definitely one of the heavier cars, but it does seem to have more torque. Perhaps that's starting to come into play here. Of course, the other Merc that we have Donnie Stunder. He's just about a second shy of Julian Brains at the moment. And then just in the background, we have the battle for the Veterans Honours. We have Maurice van Wyk and Andre Hildebrandt fighting it out here. Ooh, and in the background, Peter Murray getting it nice and sideways there. But still managing to close in on them, so I'm not sure if that... Oh, and again, a little bit out of shape. See if he'll keep it together. Oh, bouncing off the wall. Hopefully his car's not too badly damaged from that. But that was a bit of a whack against the wall. But the battle is on for Veterans Honours. Just taking a little bit too much curb. Get a warning for that. Of course, they do have a 5 penalty point system, so you can take a couple of shortcuts, but once you hit that 5-point penalty limit, you will get a drive-through penalty. It will be automatically imposed by the sim. Right, Mario's taking the wider line, Andre taking the tighter line. Mario's will now bring it back. Actually choosing not to bring it back and actually carrying on wide. We're on to the final lap of the race at the moment. So out front we have Adrian Nel, who's out front by quite a margin, 4.5 seconds. Right behind them, sorry, right behind, in second place we have Gerrit Beekers, and right behind him we have Jean-Louis de Toy. Timo Smit running slightly wide there. So it looks like Timo's now fallen away from them, so won't be challenging unless there's anything that happens between them to slow them down. Chris Collison 2 seconds shy of Timo at the moment. Shouldn't look here about a second back from them. Andre Besson very close to Christian here. He's looking to get past. He's in the slipstream, nicely placed. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's heading to rFactor. No. Is he going to bring it back? Get a better exit maybe? A bit too much clear, but it seems to have been alright, but no. I think he's lost a bit of drive. We just see the Aston Martin just slowly pull out of him a length or two. Alright, and I think Adrian will come across the line now to take sprint race honours. So race 1 victory to Adrian Nel. Gerrit Beekers looks like he might just hold off Jean-Louis de Toy. Jean-Louis is looking, but I think he's just too far back. Timo Smit comes across in 4th place. 5th place. Chris Collison 6th place. Sean Olivier, then Christian Labas, then we have Andre Besson, then Andre Duppenard. Drivers coming across the line fast and furious at the moment. Then Peter Geldernes, then Donovan van Mark. And Antonio De Lima, who's actually put it already. Dinesh Singh, Wayne Kruger, Mune Toy, Donnie Stunder. I'm trying to catch them before they cross the line, but they're traveling so fast that I'm struggling. Andre Hildebrandt coming across the line. Stan Bezetner had made up a few places, so up to 22nd place. He was running in last place. Rudy van der Westhuizen still on track. Harvey goes just behind. Unfortunately for Dirk Kutzer, he's in last place, in 25th place. So Rudy now comes across the line to take 23rd place. And Harvey Goes will take 24th place. Looks like Dirk has had a bit of an off, and once again has an off. Maybe just struggling a little bit. So I'll just wait for the drivers to head back to the pits. We're going to jump to an ad break and then we'll be back for the 1 hour feature race. I'll be back with you shortly.
Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, Look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info.
Alright, welcome back everybody. Just all the overlays being incorrect there. So we are back for the final round of the championship and the final race of the championship. So let's have a look at our starting order. In fact, before we do that, perhaps I should show everything correctly. So welcome back everybody to the IBFUSA GT3 World Series Round 10 feature race, the final race of the season, the 60-minute feature race coming to you live from MONZA Grand Prix circuit in Italy. I'm the commentator Dennis Mitchell. I'm not joined by Sean Woodgate tonight, he's still recovering. So Sean will be joining us for our following series, which will be the Wildmake Porsche Super Cup series. So for tonight, we do have the last round. Let me get this back up. I've now pushed the wrong button, so apologies for that. But our starting order will be as follows. In pole position, we have Adrian Nel. In second place, Gerrit Bierkes. In third place, Jean-Andre de Toy. In fourth place, Timo Smit. In fifth place, we have Chris Collison. In sixth place, Sean Olivier. In seventh place, Christian Labas. In eighth place, Andre Besson. In ninth place, Yandre Dippenaar. In 10th place, Stanton Augustus. In 11th place, Peter Geldernes. And in 12th place, Donovan Vermaak. In 13th place, Antonio De Lima. In 14th place, Dinesh Singh. In 15th place, Wayne Kruger. In 16th place, Monet Du Toit. In 17th place, Dani Stander. In 18th place, Julian Brains. In 19th place, Maurice Verbeek. And 20th place, Peter Murray. In 21st place, Andre Hildebrandt. In 22nd place, Stan Bezuidenhout. 23rd place, Rudy van der Westhuizen. And 25th place, Harvey Goos. In 25th place, Dirk Kotzer. And in 26th place, making race 2 is Rian van der Westhuizen. It looks like he had a problem in race 1. So he's joining us, but he's starting last as a result. So 26 runners for race 2, the final race of our season. So just a quick update on our championship standings. Jason Underwood came into this round 367 points ahead of Chris Collison on 340 points, Jean-Andre de Toy on 330 points. So it is now guaranteed that Jason Underwood will not win the championship, because unfortunately, not being in this race, the others will outscore him. Question is, who will bring home the championship? Gerrit Bierkes in 4th place, Stanton Augustus 5th, Adrian Nel 6th, Sean Olivier 7th, Timo Smit 8th, Julian Brains 9th, Andre Dippenaar 10th, Sean Johnson not here tonight 11th, Peter Gelden is 12th, Richard Salia 13th. Richard is currently in the chat. Hopefully we see Richard in the Porsche Cup. Rian van der Westhuizen 14th, 15th is Antonio de Lima, 16th Dani Stander, 17th Andre Besson, and 18th Marius van Dijk. Drivers now come around, they will start preparing down the straight, but they will not get going just yet. So of course we also have our Pro Series, which would mean our top pro drivers are the 3 overall in the championship. But we also have our Veterans Championship, which has Marius van Dijk leading Andre Hildebrandt and Harvey Goos. Right, as the drivers will now get ready to go, we'll get some of our timings and things all up and ready. Right, they'll stay in position until we get around the first corner, and then the drivers will be allowed to put their foot down. So this at least means we don't get any penalties, we don't have any issues into the first chicane, and the race is away. So Adrian now heading off. We have already a fierce battle for second. We have Jean-Louis de Tour right behind Gerrit Beekers at the moment. As we go on board, close between our two drivers at the moment. Coming into the braking zone, we see how close Jean-Louis gets to Gerrit. These two were like this throughout the race, the sprint race. Let's see how it works out in the feature race. So 60 minutes to go. We're down to 58 minutes now. Looks like Gerrit actually pulling out slightly there. Just have to see how the race progresses. We have really close battles throughout the field. So at the moment we have, right behind them we have Timo Smit. He's quite close at the moment. It did seem to fade slightly in the sprint race. Let's see if he's able to keep up with him in this race. Of course we have a mixed variety of tyres now because it is a longer race. So some of the drivers going for the hard tyre, some of the drivers going for the medium tyre, some of the drivers choosing to mix their tyres, so going for medium and hard compounds. To let you know which is which, soft is red, yellow is medium, white is hard, and blue would be rain or wet weather tires. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any of that today. Right, so currently watching Timo Smit. Timo looks like he's actually getting a bit of a run on Jean-Louis here. Which it looked like Jean-Louis maybe just lost out slightly and was actually behind, quite closely behind Gerrit, but now he's under threat at the moment from Timo. Of course we have Timo Smit challenging for third place at the moment. We have Gerrit actually challenging for the lead at the moment as well, so things are slightly different to what they were in the sprint race already. Right, so up front we have Gerrit having a good look at Adrian, who takes a lot of curb, but so does Gerrit, so they're bouncing over the curbs, getting very aggressive. They've got to be careful they don't damage their suspension. Cars can take damage from that. We have a perfect day for racing. The weather looks really immaculate at the moment. In fact, it does seem a little bit warmer than it was in the sprint race. The sprint race we had about 22 degrees Celsius. We're currently sitting, I think, at 24 degrees. Slightly warmer, which might affect tyre weight, might also affect fuel consumption. I think some of the drivers, getting very close there to Adrian, I think some of the drivers will be a bit touch and go for fuel, so they might have to lift and coast slightly or use the fuel mixture that allows them to sip as little fuel as possible. Gerrit now going on the outside of Adrian, Adrian going very defensive very early. Back on Timo having a look as well. Nice move here by Gerrit. Really close between them at the moment. You make a move into turn one. Looks like he's got a bit of a run at the moment. He might just make it stick. Going around the outside though, which is not necessarily the easiest place to make a move. I think going up on the inside into this, although he's got the car there. Great move, although he's kind of giving a little bit of a nudge there. But he did place his car well into the first part of it, so very well done. Now Adrian is now under threat by Gendre and Timo right behind them as well. Not sure what happened there. It looked like there was a little bit of a lag spike there for Adrian. He gave Timo a little bit of a heart attack. Right, so Gendre currently sitting in second place. That would do great for his championship hopes. Garrett currently in first place. That would also do him great for his championship hopes. So it's going to be extremely close between them for the championship. At the moment, oh, they're coming past Harvey. They're having a bit of an incident. Chris currently under threat as well by Sean Oliver. So Sean having a good run on Chris at the moment. You even have Timo currently having a look at Adrian. So battles throughout at the moment. Getting extremely close. Guys definitely putting their foot down at the last race. They're going to go guns blazing in this one, I think. So team having a good look, getting a good run at the moment. I think that Corvette is looking very slippery at the moment. I'm not sure if he's running a different fuel mixture, if he's maybe going to plan a fuel stop and then just go flat out, or some of the drivers might be running as slow as possible just so that they can make it to the end. So we'll see how that works out. Currently we have Garrett just taking off in the distance with almost a 1.5 second lead on Gendre. I'm having a look, not quite able to get there, but he's looking, and in the background we see Sean Olivier having a look and getting past. So Chris Collison being demoted a position. So we can have a look at that now. So Sean Olivier moving up the field. A very, very solid first race. And race 2 has definitely started off way, way better. We're progressing forward up to 5th place currently. Sean has also, at some tracks, just gone really, really well, but some tracks I think the car just didn't work for him. It's definitely working around here, so good to see. Take a quick breather. So just behind him, the driver that he did pass is Chris Collison. He is one of the title contenders, but not having the greatest round so far. Chris came into this probably with the greatest chance of taking victory with Jason not being here, because he is currently second in the championship, Gendre being third, but Gendre finished ahead of him in race 1, as did Garrett. Garrett is fourth in the championship, so I'm not too sure how it's going to work out points wise, but it's going to be extremely close for them. Right, so the battle further down the field, we have quite a few battles. We have Andre Dupinard right behind Andre Besson. Well, actually not right behind, that gap just extended slightly. We have a new fastest lap for Gerrit Beekers on a 1:49.697. And that's just beaten by Sean Olivier on a 1:49.554. So Sean is on the move. Julian Brains right behind Wayne Kruger at the moment. So a good battle there as well. And right behind them we have Dinesh Singh. So Dinesh having a good round so far. Definitely showing good form. Just to remind everyone, if you're enjoying, remember to hit the like and subscribe. That does make a huge difference to the channel, as well as hitting the bell icon, then you'll be notified for any other upcoming live races or any content that is uploaded to the channel. And a big thanks to our series sponsor, IBFUSA. Of course, they do car crash investigations, so you can head over to www.ibfusa.info. Give Stan Zedner a call if you have any inquiries regarding any crash that you need investigated. He's an expert in the field and one of the top people around the world, so no matter where you are, you can give him a shout, he can help you out. Right, so back to the action. Some of the drivers are very, very close to it. We have Monet Dutoy within a second, or 8/10 of Dani Stander. Dani Stander within 8/10 of Dinesh Singh. So the battles are remaining very close, but very, very static at the moment. We're just waiting for the gaps to get a little bit closer where they can actually make a move. We have Peter Marais now 3/10 behind Monet du Toit, so he's having a look. Peter Marais, as part of World Mech, has actually created rigs. He creates some rigs, really, really nice rigs. Monet du Toit has upgraded his hardware, so he's now driving on a new wheel and has a new rig which was created by World Mech. So if you are in the market for a new rig, World Mech are the people to call up. Give Peter Marais a shot, he can create a really high class rig for you. And he's certainly enjoying it at the moment, but unfortunately he's got Peter Marais all over him, so giving him a real hard time at the moment. You having a look, is he going? He is going for it. Will he be able to stop the car? He does, he gives enough space. So that was nicely done, Peter. In the background we have Antonio getting close as well. And further down the field we have Rudy van der Westhuizen, and was 9/10 behind Andre Hildebrand, so nice and close behind Andre. Rudy having a slightly better race too than what he did for the sprint race. So Julian Brain still 3/10 behind Wayne Kruger. Wayne having a good round as well. Oh, as we see, I believe that's Yandre Dippenaar. I'm not sure what happened with Yandre, but holding back there. Looked like he got it maybe wrong into Lesmo 1, or perhaps a little bit of contact, but being swallowed up by the field at the moment. They're all swamping him now. 3 abreast here. We have Peter Marais in the middle. We have Dinesh Singh on the outside. Yandre on the inside. Yandre falling in on the inside. Is he going to try and stick it up the inside here of Dinesh? No, he's falling in behind, thinking better of it. He now has, I believe it's Antonio right behind him. Oh, he doesn't have a rear wing. That's the end of his race, I think. Oh, luckily he stops just out of the way of other drivers, but that's going to require a rear wing change. Sam Zadenert managing to navigate around him, but oh, that's real bad luck for Yandre. So I'm not sure, maybe there's been contact and he's lost his rear wing, or maybe he just lost it, but he's definitely going to have to put for a new rear wing. And moving through the field in 22nd place at the moment, Rian van der Westhuizen started last, having not finished or not competed in race 1. So that was, I believe, 26th place, up to 22nd at the moment. Antonio de Lima is currently in 25th place, not sure why he slowed down. We have Harvey Kroos in the pits, so maybe Harvey was involved with an incident with Yandre. We did see Harvey had an incident and was being lapped by some of the drivers, so perhaps Yandre was just unlucky and ended up clipping in. So back to the front, we have Adrian Nell in 3rd. He set the fastest lap of the race on a 1:48.972. We're chasing down Yandre du Toit at the moment. Yandre du Toit 1.8 seconds shy of Gerrit. So Gerrit did pull out a bit of a gap, and the gap seems to be neutralizing a little bit. So not sure if Yandre is maybe just watching his fuel, taking it easy. Maybe he's just changed to a slightly more aggressive fuel mode at the moment, a different mapping that he can catch up a bit more and then go back to a leaner. Oh, we see Peter Marais with a penalty. Not sure what that will be for. Perhaps a cut track. You do get penalties if you cut the track too severely. Right, so Gerrit out in front, 1.8 seconds. Yandre du Toit, it's now 1.7 behind. Then Sean Olivier, Chris Collison in 5th place. So Chris has managed to at least pick off an extra place. Right behind them we have a good battle with Andre and Christian Labas at the moment on the inside, but Andre challenging on the outside. Oh, Christian having a bit of a moment there. Locking up in the rear and getting a bit sideways and collecting Chris there. Now we see a penalty for Dippenaar. I'm not sure if that was perhaps for speeding in the pits or something, because he had just been in the pits, or perhaps just turning off his pit limiter a bit too soon. That is a shame. It is a long race. He can still fight his way back up. I'm not sure how far he would get, but anything can still happen. Right, Timo also having slipped down the field to 8th place. He's currently right behind Andre Besson. Oh, getting a bit sideways as well. Oh, looking a bit loose. Also looks a bit crumpled on the side, so I'm not sure what's happened. Some of the drivers have definitely had some contact along the way. Let's see if Timo, looks like he's got a bit of drive here. Is he going to be able to change? Of course, Andre is also having a look. Christian up ahead. Timo slots in. Christian having quite a decent race so far. Driver not having the greatest of races so far is Stanton. Stanton has been quite highly placed in most of the races and near the top 3, but currently only in 9th place, so a little bit off the pace, but we'll see. Maybe he's decided to go very, very light on the fuel just so that he can go to the end. We'll keep an eye and see how the race pans out. This is the track where they probably use the most fuel because they're on the throttle, I think, flat out most out of all the tracks that we've been to. So Andre managing to get past Christian. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Oh dear. Didn't go too well. I'm sure the stewards will have to look at that, but Christian at least moving over and waiting to give the position back. That's very gentlemanly of him. Caldenes is currently in 10th place, so in the top 10. A good race. Peter's also been showing some really good form of late. The latter half of the season he's definitely been a lot more competitive and been a top 10 contender pretty much all of the last couple of races. Right behind him we have Wayne Kruger, so Wayne also having a good round again. And Julian Brains right behind as well, so this bunch coming through, lapping Javi again, so another penalty for Dupenar. So I'm not sure, he's perhaps having an issue in the pits, perhaps serving the incorrect penalty even. Not too sure what's happening there. Right, so we have Adrian Nel 6/10 behind Jean-Andre Dutoy. At the moment it looks like the drivers are starting to gap each other slightly and it's starting to get a bit of a field spread. So we just have to see what happens throughout the race, but at the moment it's looking like everyone's starting to settle into their rhythm. Have to watch the weather and see if anything does end up happening, but at the moment it looks like we're all good weather-wise. So Adrian getting a bit loose. Ooh, a bit over the curb there as well. Looks like Adrian's got a bit of a connection issue tonight. His car is moving around a bit. So in the distance we have Sean Olufia. So Sean currently is sitting in 4th place. So a good result at the moment for Sean. Let's see as the race progresses, perhaps he can catch up to Adrian or Jandre. So Gerrit is 2 seconds ahead, so starting to extend his lead again. Dinesh Singh in 14th place. So he's lost a place to Monet Dutoy and actually to Julian Brains. So starting to drift back slightly. I'm not sure if any issues are happening or maybe also just conserving fuel. Andre Hildebrandt on the last lap setting a personal best of a 1:51.475. So he's behind Morris and Vake, so they are fighting for veterans honours. I think Andre has secured 2nd place in the veterans. I'm not sure if he's capable of beating Morris. If Morris didn't finish, and I think if Andre was top 10, possibly he could. So Andre currently in 16th place, so as it stands, I don't think he's capable of beating Morris. But still 41 minutes to go, anything can happen. Looks like a little bit of cloud coming over now as well. sure if the weather is going to change at all. So Stanton now closing in on Timo, and Timo closing in on Chris. So Chris is definitely not having the round he was hoping for. He looks like he's struggling for pace. He might be wise and have set the car up for the long race, and that's why he's maybe struggled in the sprint race. Definitely doesn't have the overall pace here. Now it looks like Timo is starting to challenge. He's going to probably be cursing because he's going to be losing valuable points that could cost him the championship. It's the last round. He needs to be finishing ahead of both Carrot and of Jean-Andre de Toy. And at the moment, it looks like he might lose another place to Timo, and he has. Nicely done by Timo. Good drive. Made it look quite easy there. We're getting quite sideways just as I said that. So I'm a bit surprised that Chris is going backwards. Stanton is starting to move forward. He was in 9th early, he's now up to 7th. Chris challenging again. So Chris going around the outside, looking around the outside. No. Oh, getting a bit sideways. Now Stanton will have a look at him. Stanton. Right. Spreading out. Let's see. Stanton definitely looked like he had a bit more drive. He is on the inside as well. He's got the preferred line. Just get a fraction ahead, then he can definitely take a line. But Chris late on the brakes. Stanton early on the brakes, pulling in behind. Nicely done there. And not too far back, we have Peter Geldernees. Well, I say not too far back, so he's just 1.4 behind Christian, Christian 1.3 behind Andre. Andre 5 seconds behind Stanton, so a few battles further back, so they have to be careful. Any mistakes, they'll lose a few places. Dinesh Singh 5/10 behind Monet du Toit, so that battle is continuing. Andre Hildebrandt is also very, very close to Marius van Wyk. So that battle, I'm sure, is going to go down to the wire. Veteran honours at stake. Whether this is the final position in the championship or not, I'm sure for Andre to beat Marius, knowing that Marius would be taking the veterans, it's personal pride at stake here. Fantastic looking Martini livery. Of course, Marius van Wyk also having a good latter half of the championship. Struggled a bit in the beginning of the championship, but then definitely came good. And I think he kind of just took the championship once he got on form. Once he managed to find his rhythm, he's definitely pulled away from the other veteran drivers. It didn't look that way at the start. At the start, it looked like Andre Hildebrandt was going to take the championship, but Marius had other ideas, and by the time we hit the mid-season point, he was definitely showing better pace and getting better results. Alright, so Chris Collison and Timo are still quite close. Stanton right behind them. There's a bit of a gap now between Timo and Sean of about 10 seconds, so unfortunately those things that have transpired where we saw a little bit of contact and a little bit of sliding, so Sean has managed to pull away. So the top four are within 5 seconds of each other. Then we have a bit of a gap. So we'll see how that works out. Julian Brains, half a second behind Wayne Kruger at the moment. So Julian also having a better second race. We have a DQ for Dirk, so unfortunately Dirk having an issue. I believe Dani Stander also a DNF, so I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe Dirk and Dani coming together. So that's a shame. So Julian Brains having an average first race, but definitely having a better second race. Showing a lot more pace now. Actually starting to move forward, so perhaps also one of the drivers that's focused on the feature race and fuel saving. So we'll see how that works out as the race progresses, but definitely looks like he's moving forward in the race. We'll see Wayne Kruger also right there. Wayne maybe also moving forward. Mercedes is very good around here, but perhaps also not so good on fuel consumption, so we'll see. Some of the cars are a bit touch and go, some are a bit less of an issue. Slipstream down the main straight. Let's see where Julian will fit in. Getting any closer? He is starting to close. I think he's going to run out of time though. Across the 200 mark, 150. I'll be on the anchors now. Very, very close there. Nice and close. And Julian's definitely looking a bit stronger at this phase of the race. So Wayne will have to start watching his mirrors a bit more. A bit more cloud cover coming in, so I'm not sure what's happening with the weather. There was no rain forecast. So Chris Collison just setting the fastest first sector of anybody, so I'm not sure, maybe he was saving fuel and he's decided to pull the pin now. He's realizing he's got enough fuel, now he can push it a bit. So we will see what happens. Let's see if he can start working his way forward on the field, or through the field. With Timo Smith in front of him. Oh, right in front of him. I think that's Yandre Dupinol that's now lost it. Oh, as he comes across, that was close. It was very, very close. Almost taking out Timo and Chris there. It would have been a shame if that had happened. Sorry to see Yandre's race ending like that. Unfortunately, that's sometimes just how it goes. It looked like he had his rear wing gone, so maybe not having his rear wing replaced and having issues, and perhaps that's why he had to keep going back into the pits. And he did get some penalties, so perhaps just having issues in the pits. So Chris all over the back end of Timo at the moment. And Chris is looking like he's ready to move forward now. His lap times are improving drastically. It was a 49.4, so that's the fastest lap of anybody on the last lap. Stanton behind him on a 49.4. I don't know if I said 44.4. 49.9 for Stanton behind, and a 49.7 for Garrett up front, and a 49.9 for Jean-Louis de Toy. So they're on front running pace at the moment, although Chris was a couple of tenths faster. But Timo only on a 50.2, so Timo is slightly slower there, but only a fraction. It's just tenths in it, but Timo managing to hold him off at the moment. And Stanton, I think, is going to start closing in as these start to battle it out here. Perhaps as Timo goes a bit more defensive, they'll just scrub a little bit more speed off, and Stanton will slowly come into play. So Sean Olivier 4.8 seconds shy of Adrian at the moment, so hasn't been able to bridge the gap. In fact, just in the middle of no man's at the moment, just about almost 5 seconds behind Adrian and 10 seconds ahead of Timo. So the battle is up front for Adrian and Jandre. So Adrian starting to challenge again. He's ever so slowly getting closer. Jandre having to now take a slightly defensive line. Adrian managing to keep the car on the wider line, a slightly better, faster line. Carrot is still in front. The gap is only 1.5 to Carrot, so they've actually managed to bring back a bit of time to Carrot. Not sure how his fuel is doing. I can't see fuel at the moment, unfortunately. So this battle is looking like it's going to take off any moment soon, as Ardwan is getting really, really close at the moment. He's having a good look at the back end of Jean-Louis' car, reading the Formula Couriers. A bit of lag there. Carrot, unfortunately, is pulled away. These two are battling, so maybe with them starting to catch Carrot, if these two battle a bit, Carrot, if he is having issues, will be able to hold them at bay. But only 30 minutes into the race, Jean-Louis running slightly wide there, so He's under pressure at the moment. Is his tire starting to go? Is he watching his fuel? Is he watching his mirrors too much? But I'm sure he's trying to catch while at the same time trying to defend. The gap's still 1.5 seconds, and the gap to Adrian's still just under 5/10. It's extremely close between them. Gap with Chris Collison also extremely close with Timo. So let's see, is Chris going to get a better run on Timo this round? On the main straight, he seems to get slightly better exit. He is closing slightly. Let's see as we come into the braking zone. Just pulling back in, and I think unfortunately not close enough this time. So we're now officially at the halfway mark. So Julian Brains extremely close with Wayne at the moment. Battle between them. Oh, getting a little bit sideways out of the corner. Porsche does tend to stick its tail end out as it get on the throttle. Actually losing a little bit of ground because of that. So Wayne gets to breathe a little bit. So the other battles throughout the field aren't nearly as close, unfortunately. But this is the closest battle. Gap-wise, it's just over 2/10. Julian's all over the back end of Wayne at the moment. And Wayne, I think, is going to be sweating right now. Julian definitely looking the stronger driver at the moment. Good run on Wayne at the moment. Let's see, can he get close enough to make a move? Julian, he's much closer now. Merck just gets out of the corners, just to put that extra punch, and you just see it pull away slightly. But let's see as the straight kicks in. I think that Merck has definitely got the power and the torque, and it just gets going. And by the time the Porsche gets going, the straight runs out. Julian, wider line in, a bit better rotation mid corner. Doesn't use the whole width of the track. Trying just to stay right in the slipstream of Wayne. Right, there he comes. Starting to catch. I think once again he's just going to run out of road. Don't think the straight is long enough for him. Ooh, as I say that, he's actually making a move. Oh, way out of shape, and that's it. Getting that all wrong. He went for it, but unfortunately I think as he hit the brakes, the back end just locked up slightly. I think there was an escape road there. But I'm sure his heart was in his throat at that point, and so was Wayne's. Wayne just sticking to his line, letting Julian head on by. So Peter Geldenhuys is only 1.5 seconds behind Christian Labas at the moment. Ooh, penalty for Hildebrandt. I'm not sure what Hildebrandt has done. But Andre Hildebrandt currently with a penalty. Currently ahead of Marius van Wyk. I'm not sure if something happened, but that's going to be very costly. So 13 seconds ahead of Marius. Perhaps taking an excursion that's penalized him. So the battle at the front is still extremely close at the moment, and it's now a three-way battle as we see. So Gerrit is now completely under threat by Jean-Andre. He has actually got a slightly bigger gap to Adrian, so Adrian actually the one that's now falling back slightly. Which is also a surprise. I was kind of expecting that the Adrian and Jean-Andre battle would slow themselves down, but it looks like that's settled, and Jean-Andre is managing to get a move on now. So having a good look at Gerrit into the chicane. Gerrit is going to be very worried at the moment. He seems to be struggling. I'm not sure how his fuel is going to be looking at the moment, but maybe he's struggling for fuel. Maybe doing a little bit of lift and coast to try and save some fuel where he can. Right, here they come. Of Lesmo 2 down towards Ascari. So not Ascari, Ravazza. See if Jean-Andre gets a better drive here. It's like Carrot actually getting slightly better, slightly faster in and slightly faster at the apexes. At certain parts he looks like he's fast. Maybe he just made a mistake. Let's see how the gap at the moment at 7/10. Let's see what it is going to turn 1. We'll stay with this to see how it pans out. Jean-Andre taking a nice wide line there, carrying the momentum. And bringing it back over, straight lining it as best they can. But still 7/10. As it starts to come down. No, not yet. Staying 7/10. So pretty neutral on top end as well. The brakes only closing a fraction on the brakes. 7/10. So now up to 8/10. Up to 7/10. Now 6/10. So Jean-Andre making up a little bit of time on the exit there. It looked like he went slightly slower in and got out slightly faster. So slow in, faster out. Now it's half a second. 4/10. So definitely a fastest first sector of anybody for Jean-Andre du Toit. So he's on the move. He's now having a look and he's putting his foot down as hard as he can. He's right up behind him now, just briefly there into 3/10. But now back to such fluctuating between 3 and 5/10 at the moment. Let's see, the pressure's on for both of them. The character's going to be watching his mirrors intensely at the moment. Rondo, I'm sure, is very, very focused at the moment, trying to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. So time-wise, we are 23 minutes left to go. A little bit of a slide there by Carrot and another slide by Carrot. A lot of rotation mid-corner. Didn't seem to hurt him too much. I think Jean-Andre did get a fraction better drive, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. But we'll see how it works out coming down the straight. Now Jean-Andre's right there on the brakes, within 3/10, but then Carrot's slightly early on the throttle. They're both taking a nice wide line and bringing it back straight as they can. So very close at the moment, 3/10. Getting slightly closer there. Very, very close between them at the moment. So at the moment, Chris Collison also challenging Sean Ulfe. So Chris moving forward, well, Sean actually going backwards at the moment because we have Timo in the background and Stanton. So this is now a four-way battle. So this is now an extended battle for 4th place. So it's showing only 3 of them, but we have Stanton Augustus now joining the party. So this is a 4-way battle for 4th place. Chris Collison definitely on the move, having good pace at the moment. Timo Smith is right there and Stanton not too far back as well. I think as the race unfolds, we're seeing some of the drivers struggling a bit more than others. We'll see how the fuel pans out as well. We're expecting some drivers might choose to do a fuel stop. Some might be driving as light on the throttle as possible so they don't have to. Because a fuel stop is quite costly around. It's probably, Timo running really, really wide there out of Lesmo 2. Getting it completely wrong. Maybe it took a little bit too much curb. So Chris now having a look at Sean. Just letting Sean know that he's there. Just going offline. That's a tactic the drivers will do for 2 reasons. Either to intimidate the driver ahead of them, or just to let them know that I am here. You can expect me to be there soon, so don't do anything too harsh or brash. So Timo having run wide, didn't lose too much ground. As we see Chris having a look at Sean, perhaps Sean now holding them up, and that's maybe why Timo hasn't lost as much ground as he might otherwise have. It looks like Chris might be able to slip up the inside here. I think he's got this done. Chris is, I think, alongside and has the inside line, so looking at the stronger driver at the moment, but actually doesn't have the top end. That is very surprising. So perhaps going for a setup that is more wing focused with a bit more downforce, not having the top end. A bit surprising. I was expecting that the Aston would be strong on the brakes. Now we have Timo having a good look at them as well. So Timo watching the battle intensely at the moment. 20 minutes to go. So we're third left of the race. Curbs, staying off the curbs. You see, I believe Sean taking a bit too much dirt there, but not losing too much time. A little bit is fine. Good rotation by Sean there. Just, I think, losing a little bit too much on the rotation. So Sean doing well under pressure at the moment. Just a good exit there out of Lesmo too. So Sean hanging on well. Stanton is the one that's actually not quite with him at the moment. So slightly bigger gap between Timo and Stanton. As I say that now, Sean looks like he's pulling away slightly from Chris. There are a few other battles, so the battle is still continuing with Julian and Wayne. So this battle has been going on race long virtually. Oh, Wayne getting slightly, oh dear. Wayne was losing it slightly there. Julian waiting to bring him back into position. Oh, and now Wayne lost the rear there as well. Can he get it around? I don't think Julian can wait much longer. So D-Nash not doing as well as he was earlier. There's a little bit of a gap between himself and Wayne, about a 5-second gap. That's also thanks to Wayne having that incident now. But Monet right behind him as well. So, oh, and in the background we see Antonio having a bit of a moment. I believe that's Antonio. I'm not sure why Antonio's a lap down, so maybe having damage or something. So D-Nash having a good race. And Stan actually not doing too bad as well. Stan Bezadnot currently in 20th place. He's got Rudy van der Westhuizen for company. Having a much better race than he did race 1, I think. John Rutoy is still in the race. Currently in 23rd place though, so Stan taking a bit too much curb there. So all those issues, let's see as the race progresses, perhaps he can pick off a few more. We have a DNF now for Antonio De Lima, so he will pick off 22nd place. So the other drivers, we have Monet right here with D-Nash. So D-Nash got the fast charging Monet, so Monet obviously getting to grips with his new rig, his new hardware. He'll still be getting comfortable. I believe this is the first race he's doing in his new rig, so maybe still a little bit of tweaking to do, but it sounds like he's very comfortable, so I'm sure we'll see him start to perform a lot better. As I say that, he runs wide and onto the dirt slightly. Commentator's curse, sorry. So Chris now 3/10 behind Sean Olivier. We have Andre Hildebrand coming out of the pits. I believe he's just served his penalty. Let's see, is he starting right behind them? Oh, gets a bit sideways there. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way for Timo and maybe just got a bit too much rotation, but yeah, unfortunately onto the dirt. So still 3/10 between Chris and Sean. The gap up front has dropped as well. We got Jeandre, well sorry, has increased slightly. A second behind Gerrit. Adrian has dropped back a little bit, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but it looks like Adrian is struggling a little bit at this phase of the race. So tire-wise, Gerrit has got hard fronts, medium rear. Jeandre is on the hards. Adrian on the hards. So we'll see how that works out. Then there's two drivers on mediums, and then Timo on the hards, Stanton on the mediums. Now I know the Porsches tend to be a little bit easier on the tires. They can usually go mediums, but perhaps around Monza it's a different story. Oh, in the background we see Stan Bezadnot hitting the barrier, so that didn't go well, and unfortunately collecting Rudy van der Westhuizen. So a bit of bad luck there for Stan. We have a yellow in sector 1 now as well. I'm not sure what is happening in sector 1. So, Gendre, within a second now, 8/10 behind Carrot, so starting to catch again. Penalty for Dippenaar again. Not sure what's happened there, but once again, a penalty for Dippenaar. Nice little bit of slide in the mid corner there. Penalty for Aldenes as well. So perhaps the drivers are now starting to get penalties for the little bit of cutting that they've been doing. Those 5 penalty points are split up. You don't get a point per corner, you get depending on how much you cut. You have a DNF for Timo Smith, so I'm not sure what's happened to Timo, but unfortunately that's it for Timo. So that is a shame, because Timo was running in a solid 5th place or 6th place. So that means Stanton Augustus is now promoted up to 5th place. Stanton also falling back on pace with Chris. I think maybe an incident between Chris and someone else. We see Sean Olivia has also fallen back, so maybe there's an incident that's happened there. Sean has actually jumped into the pits. So we can see Sean is in the pits. We have Dan Bezadno in the pits. It looks like Sean's car's got a bit of damage. His rear wing is missing. So perhaps an incident there and Timo may be involved in it. So Stanton is still running. He is 3 seconds shy of Chris. He looks like he's okay, so perhaps he avoided the incidents that were happening. At the moment he looks like he's alright, he maybe just lost a bit of time. Let's see if he can catch up to Chris, if that gap closes at all, or if it perhaps grows. We'll keep an eye on that. It's currently 4 seconds, so it's actually grown slightly while we're watching it. And as we say that he loses the rear and bounces off the barrier, so perhaps he does have some damage. Well, he certainly does now. Front end looking a little bit crippled. No, crumpled I should say, not crippled. And he gets going again. Is he going to jump into the pits? Let's see. No, he manages to keep going, so obviously feeling it's not too badly damaged. But he has dropped a position, so Andre Besson managing to slip by 5th place. A penalty for Sean Olivier now as well. Right, so Gendre right behind Gerrit at the moment. So it looks like things are definitely happening. Drivers are, I think, starting to also hit a bit of fatigue. You have to focus a lot at Monza. It's high speed and the smallest mistake is amplified because of the speed. So let's do a YouTube check. I haven't actually been following YouTube, so apologies to everyone. Of course, I have Richard Salia on YouTube, so good evening, Richard. Glad to have you watching. Unfortunately, it's a shame that you're not driving, but glad you're still here. We have Flynn Faraday. Good to see Flynn here. We have Johnny Holland in there. Johnny asking when does the new season start. It's not in stone yet. As we see them lapping, I believe that's Dirk that they're lapping. The new season will start in 2 or 3 weeks time most likely. We will announce that in the next week or so. We just need to iron out a few things. We've got the tracks all sorted out. We just need to basically figure out the finer details, but the Porsche Cup will be starting very, very soon. So I guess you guys can start preparing for it. As we see Jean de Toy challenging here alongside. I think he might have this. Harriet is, yep, he's passed. I think Harriet is starting to struggle with his tires. So I'm not sure if it's fuel or tires. Possibly it's tires. He does have the mediums on the rear but the hard on the front. Possibly the rears have gone off. Or maybe it's just fuel. He's maybe having to lift and coast a bit more to save some fuel now. So now we're going to watch out in the background. Andrew Nell, is he going to also get past Garrett? This is obviously going to have a major impact on the championship standings for Garrett. Garrett was looking good, having had a solid first race, second place in the first race. So Gendre currently looking like he's going to head the get the points coming out of this round, which would definitely mean he would take the championship lead. So at the moment, looking very, very solid for the Genre's championship. It looks like Chris has lost the championship because he's definitely fallen back, although still in 4th place, but I think fallen back from Genre de Toy, and with the points between them, I think that's possibly going Genre's way at the moment. But we'll see as it all is unveiled at the end. But very, very close at the moment. So Garrett is actually still hanging in there. On the brakes, he's now right there. 10 minutes left to go. Seems to be a bit more cloud cover coming over as well. Don't think it's going to rain though. So Genre currently leading as they head up to Gavichos. New best lap for Sean Olivier. So I believe Sean had put new tyres on. Perhaps that's why he's now got the fastest lap. So I guess choosing a strategy of doing a splash and dash towards the end. So currently having served a penalty and put new tyres on by the looks of it. Although he's down in 18th place and a lap down. So throughout the field we have Genre de Toy in 1st place, Gerrit Bierkes in 2nd place, Andre Null in 3rd place, Chris Collison in 4th place, currently with about an 18-second gap to Adrian, so not likely to catch. Andre Besson 12 seconds back of that, Christian Labus in 6th place, Stanton Augustus 7th, Julian Brains in 8th, Peter Galvenes in 9th place, Monet de Toy 10th place, Dinesh Singh in 11th place, right behind, 8/10 behind Monet de Toy, Peter Murray 12th place, Marius van Wyk 13th place, Donovan van Mark is in 14th place, Rian van der Westhuizen currently in 15th place, Wayne Kruger 16th place, Rudy van der Westhuizen in 17th place, Sean Olivier 18th place, fastest middle sector of anybody at the moment, so definitely coming forward as he's had his pit stop. He's going to be challenging Rudy, I'm sure, into this corner. Rudy go up the inside, having a look. He's definitely got the grip and the speed at the moment. Yep, Rudy runs wide, lets him by. Sean gets on the power nice and early. Rudy gets a bit loose. Sam Zaydon in 19th, Andre Hildebrandt in 20th, Gavichos in 21st. 22nd, Jandre Duppenaar. Then we have our DNFs, Timo Smit, Antonio De Lima, Dani Stander, and Dirk Kutzer. So Sean up to 17th place. He has Wayne Kruger in front of him, so that is for position. And then I believe Rian van der Westhuizen is a little bit up the road, but that will be for the next position. So he might still make up a place or two. We'll have to follow that. So currently Gerrit is still in 2nd place, now 1.5 behind Genre. So Genre looks like he's now starting to pull away. I think he's got the pace to take victory in race 2 at the moment in the feature race. Adrian now looks like he's also starting to fall back slightly. Adrian on the hard tyres. I'm surprised he went for the hard tyres. I know the Porsche can do quite well on the mediums. I see most of the other Porsche drivers are on the medium. We have Julian Brains on the medium. We have Stanton Augustus on the medium. Marius van Wyk on the medium. So I am surprised. Sam Zaydnert has got the soft tyres on. So having pitted, he's decided he's going to put the softs on and go for it. So currently 19th place. We'll keep an eye on stance times. Julian Brains has just set the fastest first sector of anybody. That was a very good first sector, which was a 35.696. A personal best in the middle sector. So I think Julian is on for a good lap at the moment. I'm not sure if it's because his fuel is just dropping or unless he's maybe had a pit stop, but he's currently in 8th place, so I don't think he made a pit stop without us noticing. So So the gaps are getting a little bit larger as we see the drivers lapping back markers at the moment. Julian getting past. And we see another one going to the pits. I think that might be Yandre Dippenaar into the pits. And it is indeed. Sean Oliver getting a penalty. I think that's for his pit exit there. So putting in right behind Julian. But I believe he's a lap down, so Julian is... Looks like Sean has definitely got more grip. How much he just pulls out on Julian there. Not sure what's happening with Julian. He looks extremely slow. Maybe there's an issue with Julian. Maybe just allowing Sean to get going because he knows Sean's on fresher tyres. Andre Hildebrand in the pits at the moment to serve his penalty. So Dinash behind Monet. Monet has got past Dinash. Is Monet going to pull away now? Gap 8/10. So nice drive by Monet up to 10th place, so into the top 10. His son is currently leading the race. Most likely going to take the championship, I think, with the position he's in. So Gerrit Beek is still 1.6 behind Gendre as we see Dinash hanging in there, so not dropping back from Monet. So Dinash definitely having a really good round tonight. Good to see. So we'll just see how the race unfolds, but at the moment looking good. Getting average drive there. It looks like the Porsche definitely a little bit better on the straight at the moment, so we'll see. It looks like, I think Monet is starting to pull away now. The gap 1.4 seconds, so he's starting to slowly ease away. His headlights blazing as well. Monet, there's 3 minutes left to go. Currently sitting in 10th place, so a top 3 for Monet currently. So Gerrit Beek is starting to fall back now, 2.4 seconds from Gendre. Another penalty for Sean Oliver. I'm not sure what's happening with Sean, perhaps just struggling with track limits or maybe some form of hardware issue. Let's see if we have any information in YouTube. Francois Pretorius saying, nice Wayne, keep going, you got this. Yeah, Wayne having a good race so far. Risa and Kruger saying, well done Wayne. So a lot of support for Wayne Kruger tonight. Good to see all the support for the drivers. So thank you everyone for joining and for supporting our drivers. So Andre now also struggling at this phase of the race. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make anything up with just over 2 minutes to go, or now we're just under 2 minutes. I think his tyres are perhaps struggling a bit. I know one of the Porsche drivers, I think it was Stanton, was saying that the car gets a lot harder to drive as the fuel load drops. It's one of those cars that starts to become more difficult as the fuel drops rather than get easier. They seem to prefer it with the heavier tanks. Maybe it just helps with the rear engine, the nature of the dimensions of the car. As the fuel drops, perhaps it's just getting a bit too light on the front end. So Stanton currently really running slightly wide on Andre there. Stanton looks like his front end of his car is slightly crumbled, so perhaps having had contact with someone at some point as well. 7th place, I believe he was further up the road. I'm sure he was in 5th place not that long ago. So Gerrit has been passed by Adrian and the gap is quite big, so I'm assuming that an error was made. It looks like he's being passed, so I'm not sure if he's got any damage. So Gerrit slipping down to 3rd. Adrian now 5.8 seconds shy of Jeandre. Jeandre doing everything in his power to take the championship. So Chris Collison currently in 4th place with a massive gap of 27 seconds to Gerrit. So that's not likely to change with 20 odd seconds to go. So I think Jean-Louis Dutoit is going to take race 2 victory from Adrian now by the looks of things. And Gerrit, I think, might hang on to 3rd. It looks like he's driving wounded at the moment. Maybe he's running out of fuel. Maybe he's in limp mode at the moment, which is the setting basically. You put the car into safety car mode where it really goes slowly, but then it saves the most fuel, and he is extremely slow, so I think he's running out of fuel. You don't get to see the fuel loads unfortunately, but it looks like he's really struggling on fuel. So we'll see how that goes. But currently Jean-Louis Dutoit, no such issues at the front. Coming down to the final turn, Adrian now in the distance there. It looks like Adrian's starting to catch in the last lap, but unfortunately time has run out. The gap is now actually closing. It was 5.7, it's now 5.3, 5.2. Jeandre maybe just taking it easy on the last lap as he rounds the final bend. Flashing the lights and comes across the line to take feature race victory from Adrian now, currently in 2nd place. Adrian takes 2nd place. Race 1 victory, race 2 2nd place. I believe that might be... Oh, Gerrit running wide there. Will he make it to the line? Looks like he will. I think he will still come across. The gap to Chris is down to 19 or 18 seconds, so that gap has come down fast, but he's got a big enough gap to make it. Chris under threat at the moment from Andre Besson, so Andre having a good look at Chris. Might actually get him as well. He's having a look. Here he comes. Is he going to make it? It's neck and neck. I think Chris just hangs on there. Oh, maybe not. I think he did before the line. Alright, that I think is sorted. So then we have Christian Labas coming across the line in 6th place. We have in 7th place Stanton Augustus coming across the line. Julian Brains, a solid 8th place, so managing to work his way forward in the race. Hildebrand just rejoining there. So Julian taking 8th place, good result for Julian in the end. Peter Kaltenes 9th. Oh, big slide. I think tyre wear is definitely an issue at this stage of the race. Of course, he is on the medium tyre, so maybe that tyre has just given up the ghost. So coming across the line in 9th place. And in 10th place, a solid result for Mornay Dutoit. Well done, Mornay. Really good result. Pulled away quite nicely from Dinesh Singh in the end. So Dinesh 11th, but almost 7 seconds shy. And Peter Kaltenes coming past him. So I'm not sure what's happened there, but it looks like maybe that's just because they've crossed the line already. Maurice van Wyk has already pitted. Donald van Mark still on his lap. I'm not sure if he's finished or if he's just cruising back to the pits. Then Rian van der Veste is in 15th place. So still on track. So managing to work his way up to 15th from 26th place. So probably not the result he would have liked, but at least he went forward. So good result. Unfortunately, Wayne Kruger went backwards towards the end. So that incident he had, and then spinning as a result, I guess, of the tyres being a bit cold or dirty. Just didn't quite work out for him, but had a solid race up until that point. Rudy van der Veste is in 17th. Stan Bezuidenhout at 18th. Sean Olivier, DNF, getting 19th. Harvey Coast 20th. Andre Hildebrand taking 21st. Then Jan-Red Dippenaar, Timo Smit, Antonio De Lima, Dani Stander, and Dirk Kotzer. So we're going to head to an ad break, and we'll be back shortly with our interviews.
Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info. Are you or someone you know a victim of a car crash, or a legal professional seeking help in a crash investigation case? Look no further than IBF International. At IBFUSA, we specialize in at-scene crash evidence preservation, evidence analysis, crash reconstruction, and court testimony. We have over 20 years of experience in at-scene and post-event crash investigations in most of Southern Africa and the rest of the world. We not only provide assistance to crash victims and legal professionals, but we also offer training to those who wish to pursue a career in crash forensics. Our goal is to empower our clients with the knowledge and tools they need to navigate the often complicated world of crash investigations. Our slogan is IBF International. The facts speak for themselves, and we stand by it. We provide expert guidance and assistance to help you with insurance repudiation, expert testimony, and trial assistance. We believe that the facts should always be the driving force in any crash investigation, and we are committed to providing you with the most accurate and thorough analysis possible. If you're looking for an expert to guide you through a crash investigation, look no further than IBFUSA. For more information or to engage our services, visit our website at www.ibfusa.info.
Welcome back everyone to the conclusion of the IBF GT3 World Series. This is the end of round 10, which was coming live from the MONZA Grand Prix circuit in Italy. Of course, we are joined now live for our top 3 drivers for the round, which are in first place Adrian Nel, in second place Jean-Andre de Toy, and in third place Gerrit Beekers. So let's start with Adrian. Adrian, a great round, getting race 1 victory, and then looking like having a bit of tyre wear possibly, or fuel issues or something in race 2, but then coming strong towards the end, and in the end getting overall first place. So a great result, but how was the round from your point of view?
It was quite well. I was quite happy with it. The sprint race, I had amazing pace. I was about a second of that faster than anyone. But in the race, I tried to keep it, I must say, try to save fuel a lot, because we were 2 laps below what we actually needed. So we were running quite a lean mixture and shifting early. And then I was struggling with the brakes. Later on, the tire wear was getting to me. And with the Porsche, it makes up a lot of time on the brakes, and with the tires just going, I couldn't gain that advantage anymore.
Well, overall, a good result, getting first overall, so congratulations. We'll get to the championship standings shortly for all the drivers, but yeah, well done for tonight.
Thanks. I just want to say, me and Jean-Andre worked well together tonight. I think he needed it for the championship, and I'm happy he could take the main race victory. So let's see what the championship gives him. I hope a champion in the making.
Oh, congratulations. And then Jean-Andre, a great race. A very, very solid first race. You looked like you were just sort of taking it easy, and things maybe didn't have the overall pace for the sprint race. But in the feature race, also at the start, maybe taking it a bit easy, conserving fuel, whatever you were doing, maybe with the tires. But once the mid-race hit and you got your rhythm and you just seemed to be much faster than the drivers ahead of you, you started catching them, and then a couple of mistakes by some of the guys, and by the time you got to the front, you just seemed to just be on cruise mode. How's the round from your point of view? What can you tell us?
Yeah, with the sprint race, I had it at pretty good pace, so I knew it was going to be difficult to catch him. Every time I would come close to him, he'd swerve in front of me, so I would brake a bit early just not to take him out. So I knew I'll just have to wait for the main race to see if I can catch him there. With the feature race, yeah, I had to go race lean on my engine mixture, and I had to short shift for probably 40 minutes just to save enough fuel. When Gerrit came past, I knew there's no way his fuel would last, so I just let him go, and in hopes that I would catch him at the end, and it worked.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Then Gerrit, you had a lot of pace. I'm going to go straight to the feature race. You seem to get out front and clear off fairly easily. And I wasn't sure if your fuel was going to last. Maybe you were driving very aggressively. If your tires were going to last. You seemed to be one of the few drivers that had gone for hard fronts and medium rears. So it seemed like the Porsches were good on mediums and some of the other cars were good on hards. But you decided to mix up your tires. So I wasn't sure if that was an issue. But as the latter stage of the race came, you seemed to be struggling a lot. Well, I don't know if it was fuel, but someone looked like towards the end, the last couple of laps, like you were almost on cruise mode. So maybe also just struggling with fuel. But tell us what happened from your point of view in the sprint race and in the feature race.
Yeah, quite interesting. So, congrats to John and Adrian. They did well, managed the race well. Basically, what happened to me, or the race strategy was, I knew that the Porsche and the Aston was going to be really fast out of the last turn, and then doing well on the brakes into turn one. So my thinking was basically try to get ahead, break away, and then try to manage the gap from there fuel-wise. And it actually went okay. I was also race lean for the whole race, and then I would also short shift, and there was a couple of laps where I had to go into safety car mode, and then as soon as I see they beginning to catch me, I tried to pull away a bit, and the tires were fine. It was just at the end, last two laps, it was just a miscalculation of fuel. Yeah, and that was it.
All right. Well, congratulations on third overall.
Oh yeah, cool. Thanks.
And then we're going to just jump while you guys are here. I'm going to keep you guys here. So we're not going to keep the suspense up any longer. We're going to jump to our champion for tonight. So we will all know now who the champion currently is. And that, if I can get the right buttons pressed here, make sure I don't push the wrong buttons and crown the wrong champion live. That wouldn't go so good. Make sure that everything is correct. All right, so while we are waiting, this should now be correct. So congratulations to Jean de Toy. You are the GT3 World Series champion.
It must have been close.
It was very close. It came down to 6 points between yourself and Chris.
Sheesh. Yeah, I knew Chris had to have a really bad round for me to even come close. So it's unfortunate that he had a bad round like that. It would have been good to race him. But now I'm happy I could take another victory.
Yeah, I think if Chris had a solid round, it would have been extremely close between you. Obviously, the point structure is very close, but if Chris had finished maybe better than third, I think it would have gone Chris's way. But yeah, it definitely wasn't Chris's night tonight, and you seem to have a solid race meeting, so you did everything in your power, and yeah, congratulations. You are the GT3 World Series champion.
Oh, thank you very much.
So now you're going into the Porsche Cup as a double champion for some experience, having won the British Touring Car Series, having now won the GT3 Series. How are you looking forward to the Porsche Cup? Are you confident in those? Are you still having to find your feet in that?
Yeah, I did a couple laps with the Porsche, and yeah, it was not the GT3s, so I'm definitely going to have to get used to it and see if I can get the setup working, because I went even close to the times the other guys did already. So it's going to be a bit of practice, but let's see if I can make it at least to top 3.
All right, well, congratulations again. We're going to jump to some other feed quickly. I'm going to go back to the interviews and just put up the next round to come up. So as we head off to the next round, of course, this is the end of this championship. The next series we're doing will be the Porsche series, which is the World Mech Porsche Super Cup series. So for that, we will have Imola as round 1, we'll have Monaco as round 2, Kyle Army as round 3, Silverstone round 4, Nürburgring round 4, Spa as round 6, then Suzuka as round 7, Zandvoort round 8, Montreal as round 9, and round 10 will be the Monza Grand Prix circuit. We will also be joined by some of the real world Porsche series drivers, or the teams. So the rFactor team, some of their drivers will be joining us for that, so this will be a good practice for them. They are, of course, racing in the real series this year as well as some of the years prior. So if you watch the races today of the Porsche series, you would have seen their drivers. So we will be having our drivers coming up against some of the real world drivers and showing whether they're good enough to compete in the real series, which I'm pretty confident they will be. Unfortunately, Jason won't be able to defend his championship, but looking at the times so far on the practice, it looks like some of the guys are showing that they are up for the challenge. So Jason was slower than some of the drivers at our test. So we had Jandre Duppenau up there, we had Sean Ulfi up there. Jandre, you were pretty quick as well. So yeah, definitely going to be a close championship. Since we've got some of the other drivers here, Adrian, how are you looking forward to the Porsche Cup?
I'm quite a big Porsche fan, so I'm quite excited about it. I did a bit of practice yesterday and today with the car. So it's very different, but it's a proper race car, if I must say. No ABS, no traction control, and I usually excel in those types of cars. So let's see what I can do.
That's good to hear. And then I'm going to drag in Stanton. Let's hope he's not in the middle of a conversation, but hopefully Stanton isn't chatting at the moment. Stanton, welcome to the live chat.
Hi, Dennis. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I thought I'd just drag you in. We just finished the interviews and we've crowned our champion, which is Jandre de Toy. Now we're just looking at our upcoming championship, which is going to be the Porsche Cup. So I'd like to get your feedback, obviously heavily involved in a Porsche team. What is your take on the upcoming Porsche series?
Very exciting car. I think one of the best now in rFactor 2 when it comes to drivability, and it's just a matter of spending time with the car. For ourselves as a team, I wouldn't say it's a head start, but it's based on our real world team that competes in the Porsche Super Cup now at the moment. That's currently running. So good car. So I would say looking at the calendar right now, good tracks as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Good stuff. And then of course we have Jandre Duppenau in the chat. Evening, Jandre.
Evening, Dennis, Sean.
Jandre, you yourself have been practicing in the Porsche and you've shown good pace. You've obviously driven with the rFactor guys in other series. You, I gather, are looking forward to the Porsche Cup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Porsche Cup. It's a race car, proper race car. On the setups, you can't do that much, so it will be most likely the same for everyone. It is going to come down to drive style and ability to drive the car.
You've definitely been one of the faster drivers, so I'm assuming that you're going to be one of the top runners, just judging by our testing times that we've seen so far. Who are you thinking is going to be one of the top runners, or your competition, your main competition?
That's a difficult one. The guys seem to get it together just before the races, but I think Adrian and Jandre, Stanton most definitely will also be there. Garrett, I think he might also come to light with that car. Don't throw away Chris and Sean. They are also fast with that car.
Yeah, we definitely, Sean Ulfi definitely was fast as well in some of the tests that we did. Definitely at Red Bull Ring, I know he was very quick there, but even at the Hockenheim when we were driving there, he was one of the fastest. I think he was second fastest there. So definitely going to be a strong contender. We've also got Monet Deploy joining. I think they might team up. So Monet is generally quite quick as well. So if he puts the time in, he might be another challenger. So I think it's going to be quite a strong round. It looks like the times are quite close between some of the guys. The top 10 certainly very, very close. And I think as the rounds progress, some guys will definitely be stronger at their favorite tracks. But I think the car is going to be very good. Everyone being in the same car. It's a bit different to the GT3 where you got different cars and the cars perform different at different tracks. So there, it's down to the driver. You got to figure out the car, and like you say, it's a driver's car. There's no driving aids.
Yep.
So it's definitely going to be an interesting championship.
I think that without the driving aids, it's going to make a hell of a difference. I'm not sure how long we're going to drive in the races, but I know that you can flat spot the tires easily, so you will need to have a look at that.
Yeah, we're going to try and replicate the main series from the real world. So I believe Stanton, or not Stanton, but Donnie had actually sent me some of the details there. So I'm going to announce all those details this week, and we'll try and have that as close to possible as the real series, just so the drivers can actually relate to the real series. But it should be 35 minute races, somewhere around there, depending on the tracks. I know Monaco is a 17 lap race. That was what the real race was, so we will have a 17 lap race as well. So we're going to try and replicate it as best as possible, and hopefully it'll give us as real results as possible.
In that case, I think Stanton will be quite good in the course. He's got, I don't know how he does it, but he can manage tires on the next level.
Yeah, that definitely will help.
Yes, that does aid a bit, driving this car. As I said, it will come down to driving style. But yeah, for now I was concentrating solely on the GT3 series. So from I think next week onwards, I'll jump in the car and then I'll start giving it a go.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks very much for the time and the effort in the series, and congratulations to Jean-Andre on your championship, and to all the drivers. It was an extremely close championship, coming down to 4 drivers in the final round. So great for the viewers as well. So thank you for putting on such a good show and making it such an exciting championship to commentate on. But we will catch you guys next time, well, probably 2 or 3 weeks time for the Porsche Cup. We'll announce all the dates this week. But until then, thank you once again, and we'll catch everyone else at the Porsche Cup series. So until then,
Thank you.
Thanks. Cheers.
Well
you.
done.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for everything, Dennis.
Always a pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Bye.